everybody, it's Cece from Cece Restyled, and today I'm going to show you how to do a technique called Carnival Blending. And I'll be doing a chair. Anything with a lot of detail tends to look the best because at the end we'll be glazing it with a metallic paint. So usually things with a lot of detail or carvings tend to really bring out the really cool parts of the Carnival Blending. And I've really only seen this done with rainbow colors, so blues, blue, red, green, yellow, red and orange. I've seen Carnival Blending done with all those rainbow colors, but I want it to be a little more, a little less crazy. So I'm going to be using a variety of teal/blues so that I can get more of an oxidized look rather than a rainbow of colors. So feel free to try it with whatever colors you choose. You could do neutrals or all different pinks and or all different purples, or you could try the whole rainbow of colors. It is a really cool look. It's just not as appealing to everyone having all the bright rainbow colors. So I am going to be using these colors from Dixie Belle, and you can use unicorn spit or any kind of paint really. I'm using chalk paint or chalk mineral paint from Dixie Belle, but I'm using Bunker Hill Blue, Pure Ocean, Dixie Belle Blue, and Mermaid Tail. So the kind of teal blue colors are more of like a oxidized color palette, and then I'm using the Bunker Hill Blue, which is a darker but still bright blue as kind of a base for all the other colors. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I went ahead and I primered my piece. I used Slick Stick from Dixie Belle. You can use any kind of primer or just paint your piece white, but you want to start with a white base coat so that those colors will really show through. So I'm starting with the Bunker Hill Blue, and I'm going to pour a little bit on, I'm using a paper plate. You can use, you know, whatever, disposable, or if you don't want to use disposable, just use a bowl or something like that. But I'm using a paper plate. I poured out a little bit of my Bunker Hill Blue, and I'm going to mist it with some water to water it down just a little bit. And then I've got just a shop towel for wipes. So I'm mixing it in with the water a little bit so it's kind of watered down, almost like a gel stain would be. So I'm gonna blot off the excess on my shop towel. I'm not painting this piece. I'm just kind of gonna be stippling it a little bit with the watered down paint mix. So just like that. And this is one of those pieces that it truly is really ugly before it gets pretty. I know everybody says that, but this is really going to be one of those pieces. Definitely got that sponge paint 90s, early 90s, late 80s vibe going on at first. But you're just going to want to cover your whole piece with the blue or whatever color you choose. In my case is darker blue. Whatever colors you choose, you want to stipple on your darker colors first. So your blues, your dark greens. And I'm using a nice big fat brush so I can cover more area at a time. You can use really kind of whatever brush, but the big round one seems to make the most sense for me. So you see how I'm just going to cover the whole thing with my stippling of Bunker Hill Blue. And we will move on to the next darkest color, which I think is going to be Mermaid Tail. Ooh. Okay, so that was our coat of Bunker Hill Blue, and if your piece is looking absolutely hideous at this point, that's okay because you're doing it right. At least if it looks like this, then you're doing it right. So yes, it's definitely not anywhere near finished. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. Okay, so our next color that we're gonna do is Mermaid Tail. And we're gonna do the same thing with the mermaid tail. We're gonna pour a little bit out onto our paper plate and squirt it with some water to water it down a little bit. So I got my mermaid tail, and I'm just gonna water it down a little bit. Alright, so I went ahead and no, I forgot what I was gonna say. Alright, so I got my mermaid tail watered down, and I only need some sections of the mermaid tail. So I'm gonna cover the whole thing, but not as much as I did the Bunker Hill Blue. So I'm just gonna go through and make it even on the whole piece, if that makes sense. So just see how I'm not covering quite as much as I did with the darker blue, but I am stippling all over to get some of the mermaid tail going on there. So you want patches of your other colors, but not full coverage like we did with the dark color. Ooh, looking a little funky. Looking a little funky. Don't be nervous. Okay, that's a lie. I'm gonna admit, I'm a little nervous right now because this is crazy. This is a new technique to me, so so yeah, I'm a little nervous. But we shall see. Okay, our mermaid tail is all done and dabbed on. So next we're going to move on to Pure Ocean, which is a little bit lighter blue, less teal. Same thing, we're going to pour a little on our plate, spritz some water on it to water it down, and use our big fat brush to stipple it on in small sections. So even less than we did with the mermaid tail. So, spritz her down a little bit, and then kind of mix it up with the water just a bit so we get more of like a stain. And dab a little bit of that off and start stippling. Okay, and for my fourth and final color, I'm going to do the same process with the lightest blue, which is Dixie Belle blue. And I'm just gonna kind of go through and blot it on and fill in, you know, some of the areas that need some color. So pour out a little bit. And then mist it with my water. This one was pretty thick, so I'm adding a little bit extra water to this one. Some of these colors are a little thicker than others. That's okay. Okay, wipe off my excess from mixing it. And go at it. It's okay if a little bit of your white shows through, because we're going to be sealing and glazing this, and but I think if you prefer to try to fill in any of the white spots, you can definitely do that. That's just a personal preference. Still in the ugly stage though, I'll tell you that. Still in the ugly stage. But we're getting there. We're getting there. That's all that matters. It's all that matters. Okay, so we have got all of our watered down paint mixture on to our piece. So I'm gonna let this dry completely, and then I'm gonna go over it with a coat of clear gloss sealer. So you can use spray sealer. I'm probably going to use the top coat from Dixie Belle. It comes in gloss and satin, but whatever you use, make sure it's a gloss. Semi-gloss might be all right too, but you want it to be glossy so that when we put on the glaze or the metallic paint, we can wipe it away like a glaze. So let it completely dry, seal it with your favorite water-based clear gloss sealer, okay? Okay, so now my chair is clear coated in the gloss or semi-gloss sealer, and the reason why we use gloss or semi-gloss is so that when you're applying your metallic paint, you can then wipe it back. Hopefully, and it will stick in the details and give a slight shimmer to the whole piece. So you could use silver or copper or bronze. I'm using gold, and I'm going to be using the new Dixie Belle Moonstone Metallics. I also have their regular metallic gold. And you could use any metallic gold paint that you want. You can see I've kind of started in this corner because I was trying to see which gold I wanted to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish out this corner first. So you just brush it on like you're painting the whole piece. And I'm pretty liberal with it. make sure you push the paint down into those details too, because that's the most important part. When we wipe away the paint, it will be stuck in the details, and the rest will just have a slight shimmer. So I'm going to work in sections. I'm not going to do the whole chair and then wipe it away because I don't want it to completely dry on me. Ooh. Whoops. So I'm just going to do these front two legs, and then I will start wiping away. So I'm going to wipe back some of the gold. And you don't need to wipe super hard, you can just go gentle. I use a t-shirt, you can use a shop rag or old towel or something, anything soft and absorbent. So that is the metallic gold look that we are doing over our blending. So I'm going to finish out the rest of the chair, paying extra special attention to the details. Okay, so that was the process for Carnival Blending, and once your metallic is dry, you can stop there, or you can be a psycho like me and highlight the details with some gilding wax. I am using Decor Wax from Redesign with Prima in the color Eternal, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the tops of the details because I love metallic. You can't spell metallic without me. Yeah? No? Okay. So I'm just gonna put a little bit. Hopefully you can see how it's just bringing out the details just a bit more. I'm not going crazy with the wax like I usually do, just getting kind of the tops where it would shimmer down. And now all I have to do is reattach my seat and I'm done. That's my Carnival Blending.